Hi, friends and fitness fans. Today I'm going to show you how to make some easy electrolyte gummies. And the reason I make these is because particularly in the summer, I want to have something that's kind of like candy-ish, but without actual candy in order to replenish my electrolytes and not taking it in drink form. So this is easy because you can make it whatever flavor you want. You can add as much salt or electrolytes as you want. You can incorporate things like the gelatin, which is very important for collagen maintenance and all that stuff, joints and blah, blah, blah. I use this just cheap, unflavored gelatin that comes in packets. You can use Knox. You can use whatever. If you're vegan, I hope you're not vegan, but if you're vegan, you can use agar-agar. I mean, you're kind of missing the point if you're vegan in healthness, but I'm not going to go there today. But yeah, we're going to use this, and I'm going to make, today I'm going to use like a mixture of, like, let's just say this fruit punch flavored hydrating electrolyte, and maybe I'm going to use some of this liquid IV. It's sugar-free. I also have these. This is ultra salt. It comes in pill form. And, if you wanted to incorporate something like fruit juice because you're not sugar-free, that's fine. You could incorporate some fruit juice instead and add some ultra salt or some Redmond's real salt. This stuff is fabulous. I use that 2 times a day at least on my food. Other flavors, this is raspberry guava of electrolytes, so super fancy stuff. But yeah, you make your own flavor. If you've ever encountered that unfortunate circumstance where you were eating sugar-free gummy bears, and by unfortunate circumstance, I am referring to explosive diarrhea, then you will want to stay away from that and make your own sort of gummy bears or whatever. At the end of the day, I'm going to be dropping them into just regular ice cube trays. You could get fancy and have, sorry, that's my dishwasher running. You could get fancy and have some sort of like gummy molds, like proper gummy molds for candy making, but it's not necessary. As long as you keep these in the fridge and have a couple of them every day, you're going to be good. Oh, and also I should say, if you want to drop creatine in this recipe, you could try that. I just take creatine with water separately, but yeah, that's a go-to if you need to use some other powdered form of dietary supplement. Then you could incorporate it all in there. So let's start with a cup of water. Woo! Putting the heat on. We're just going to warm up the water so that it can receive the gelatin properly, and so the gelatin completely dissolves. This is like, I'm measuring it simply because I'm showing it to you, but usually I just wing it. And the dishes are done, thank goodness. So while that's heating up, I'm gonna just get the rest of it ready. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this cup of water mixed with the electrolytes, and the gelatin should be enough for just like 1 ice cube tray. That's all I need for about a week's worth, depending on temperature and depending on what I do during the day. Sometimes in the summer, I may take a couple of these bad boys 2 times a day because I'm a super sweater and I do a lot of exercise and a lot of endurance outside in the sun, and I'm sweating, and the electrolytes are evaporating and going away, so I need more. I always have really, really low blood pressure, so for me, it's important to have the salt and the electrolytes. Some people who have high blood pressure may not need this at all, and it's all based on what you need and when you need it. So yeah, I'm going to use one of these lemon limes, and then I'm going to put in 2 scoops of this fruit punch caged muscle electrolyte, and I'm going to put in 3 packets of gelatin, unflavored gelatin. And I am sure that, you know, based on how you like the flavor of these, that you could use up a whole tray of them, you know, one person in a week. But, you know, suffice it to say that once in a while I have certainly forgotten about the gummies that I made in the fridge. And they'll last a couple weeks, but after about 2.5 weeks, you'll see that they do start to get a little fuzzy, get a little moldy. And thereafter, you just want to throw them away if you're not using them up that often. So my water is warming, and I'm just going to start adding the gelatin and using a whisk just to make sure it gets nice and dissolved. You want to whisk it like nicely, but not too forcefully, because you don't want to develop too many bubbles. If you get a lot of bubbles in your gelatin, it's just going to make bubbles in your gummies. So, you know, try to be gentle but assertive. That's 3. And you'll see, I'm just making sure it all breaks up. And once you've kind of broken up the gelatin, and you see that it's completely dissolved, give it like another minute or so. I have this on just medium heat because it's a very small saucepan. But that way you can be totally sure that this stuff is dissolved. I'm just breaking up any big pieces that I may find here. What's the worst case scenario with this stuff is that, okay, there might be a piece of like gelatin floating in it if you didn't dissolve it all the way. It's not going to kill you. You know, what's the worst situation here in terms of like you make this and it just, you don't like it? Okay, so you've spent a few cents with the gelatin and you've used up some salt or some, you know, some hydration multiplier. Not a big deal. So, you know, all things considered, this is something you could try out and see how you like it, adding it to your repertoire. If it's not for you, then, you know, feel free to enjoy your Gatorade or your goo. Some people like that goo stuff. It's not for me. That stuff has a lot of sugar in it, and I just do not need goo in my life. So I prefer to make my own little simulated candy stuff. So, okay, I think that's essentially it. I have a little bit of powdered gelatin right at the edge here of my whisk, just because I didn't get too involved with disintegrating this powder. But okay, so we're good there. The heat can be turned off. You don't need it anymore. And now, as I said before, I'm going to add 2 scoops of this powdered electrolyte fruit punch flavor. And then I'm going to add 1 of these liquid IV hydration multiplier. This is the sugar-free one, by the way, which I have yet to try, but I found it at Costco yesterday, so woo! We're living large, y'all. We are getting things done, and we are so blessed. Okay, so there's that. Bam. And now I'm just gently mixing it all together. This should probably taste like a sour fruit punch. We'll see. Whatever it tastes like, it's gonna taste fruity, and it's gonna be gelatinous, which is what I like, because I really love gummy candy. And that's one thing I miss ever since I stopped eating sugar. But, you know, all is well. You make your own and make this a beneficial part of your day, and then you have your candy and your supplements that you need, and that's it. That's what it's all about. Okay, so that's all pretty much mixed and ready. It just looks like blue liquid. So now, just to make it easier for me to pour into the ice trays, I'm going to put it back in the Pyrex because this just has a nice little spout. And now you will witness the conclusion of the electrolyte gummies. So, pouring it into the ice mold. And now, by the way, this is not going in the freezer. You're just going to put it in the fridge. And it just needs some time to set up. You know, not much time. I would say it's probably going to be set in an hour. I've never really evaluated how long it took before, but, you know, we should be right at about 1 full tray right when this liquid runs out, which will be chef's kiss. Perfection. Oh yeah. Ugh. I did not plan it like that, but it worked out so well. I have a little drippage. It's not the end of the world, but there it is. Now this is hot, as you can see, but I'm going to put the cover on it and it's going to go right away in the fridge. And you'll see soon enough when it's ready, and then you can partake of 2 to 4 of them, really, and enjoy the flavor, enjoy the texture, the consistency, which I love. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little video of the most minimal cooking possible. Have a great day. Okay, just an update. I have had those gummies in the fridge for about like 70 minutes, and I think they're ready, so I just want to show you. Ta-da! Okay, let's have 1 or 2 or more. First of all, let me just pop one out just to show you. Oh yeah. So I mean, it could stand another few minutes, but essentially it's gummy, it's jelly. Sour and a little sweet. It's actually super delicious. And I have another idea. 1 second. Yeah. I have citric acid, which, if you like gummy bears, I'm sorry, not gummy bears, Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids are basically made with citric acid and or more sugar outside of them. So you can make the same effect by taking another gummy. You do this like after you've already made them gummified, and you can have some citric acid. I'm just going to make a little bit of a mess and sprinkle it. There's my dog. Sprinkle it on the top. Oh yeah, that is delightfully sour. Oh, and it makes your mouth water and stuff like that, but it's delicious. Highly recommended. Shush. Bye for now.